And we're going to be continuing in our second episode. The first episode, we got up to sort of the end range of the first tier, you know, and you're starting to get into the second tier, unlocking some pumpkins and things, and yeah, we're seeing how it goes. So yeah, we'll see how this next one goes, and hopefully it'll be a pretty good stream. I'm gonna just be doing some setup for the stream. I need to do some manual things, specifically with Twitch. I gotta make sure that all the stream info and that sets correctly, and the YouTube as well. And yeah, we hope that we get some more views and people coming through, and hopefully someone likes the stream. That's it. I don't know, man. Like, I'm still learning about stuff with streaming. You know, I guess in theory it'd be easy to just be like, oh no, all you have to do is this one thing, and it's like, yeah, but it's not. This one string ain't stream. This one thing for the stream ain't all that ain't necessarily that easy, you know. No, I don't want to check my video. Paid promotion. Gaming. No place like home. And let's see what else we got. I'm pretty sure I can add it to a playlist, which I want to do. There we go. I'll rename the playlist at some point, but it'll be fine. Let's go. Cool. Just updated those deets, and yeah. It's quiet. Too quiet. Yeah. It'll be fine. So, okay, cool. Thanks everybody for joining me. We're going to be playing for another, an hour or so, give or take. And yeah, I guess with that, let's get into it, you know? Let's see what we got, what happens, what it's like. Up in live for an hour. I'm curious, wait a sec. What are you doing? Oh, it's... I see what's happening. Restream got confused. But anyways, we continue with No Place Like Home, so let's go. Yeah, I need to set like transition, all these things, whatever. But for now, we continue the game. I need a... This is something else I need to fix, because I have had the feeling that the aspect ratio for this is just a little bit off. It's not, but it feels like it is, man. I don't know what to tell you, dude. It feels off. It's not off, but it feels that way. Anyways. Got Miguel. Let's go. Am I screwing myself by using up all the tomatoes I needed to? Potentially. All the tomatoes that I needed? Potentially, yes, it's possible. I'm okay with that. Pretty sure. There we go. I was pretty sure it was like an actual in recipe and not like me screwing stuff up, so I was like, we'll see. I preserve, because there's gonna be a lot of stuff. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go, 7. We're just placing the last of the veggies, and there we go. And now, cool. So we are going to finally go buy those upgrades from this dum-dum. So let's see what we can get. I'm very frustrated because I'm quite close to getting it. I just have to lock on while it fades away. Games say nay. I may say yay, but games say nay. And game speaks louder than I do, apparently. I need to get the wood boxes going as well. I normally had, I don't know, like a bunch of things for wood. I guess I need to get into the habit also of pausing my music and background noise. Like I was so used to, and I think this happens a lot. You know, you get used to, you do a bit of background noise, and especially if you've got the ADD, the ADHDs. 50. If you've got the ADD, the ADHDs, you know, that kind of thing, it'll help a lot with you if you don't sit in perfect silence, because that way you get a little bit of just noise, you know, just enough to like distract you from the fact that it's more or less completely quiet in the room where you're sitting. And I think that's pretty good. You know, it's good for you. It's just kind of one of those things, you know. I would love to know why oh, I know why OBS 64 is running. I get it. But anyways, apparently this game does not like its audio being captured properly, so it's fine. We'll figure it out. Moving on. We have 72. I think that's actually a really good amount from what we put in. So I think next step for us is going to be to warp on over to the village and start the cleanup there. Even more importantly, I just realized I was about to be dumb because is the sewer grate here, and I'm very oh boy, damn it. At least there could be something, man. The sewers suck. Dude, the sewers get bloody hard to work your way through when you're blind. And see, that's why you just push and hold. Go to sleep, it's okay. You're not in trouble, it's okay. Just go to sleep. You worked hard, little scampery bots. Hard work bringing terror to so many people. Now's your chance, just relax. Let go. It's okay. Go to sleep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this will be locked, yeah. I'm pretty sure this is like a dead end, but it's also, I think, meant to be like your first introduction to how the sewers work. And I could swear at some stage you did actually have to get through it because they had something in here that you needed. But now I just see a lot of trash. But it's fine, because we can scoop up a lot of trash. I have to remember to come here, because I see that's clearly surrounding something. They may have gone and embedded it inside the thing, but nonetheless, I see it surrounding something. And yeah, the game's audio is bugged out, and it'll be fine. You just get to listen to my sweet, sweet dulcet tones forever. 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 How do I know if I have chat messages? If I got another person talking. As soon as somebody new watches, I have to watch for chats. But until then, I am free, free, free as a bird, free as can be, free, free, I am free. But yeah, I need to get the thing that lets me up big houses. I'm pretty sure those are truffles. So I'm not. Yeah, we'll get there. I think it's always best to clear it section by section. Don't go too far, whatever. Not that it's not good to go far, but it's just, it works better if you do the stuff like this. Speaking of which, that actually brings me to, like, I'm aware there's stuff I could probably do to grow the channel more, right? But what I found was that when I watched my videos, they're a little bit better now, actually. I do watch them back at some point. I found them boring. Like, I didn't find I spoke enough. It wasn't really, like, I wasn't really talking about anything. Like, admittedly, I'm still, to an extent, babbling. Like, granted. But, I just found I didn't enjoy them. And so I was like, well, even if I have a channel, right, even if, and I should have really gone and been like, I mean, I was very stupid not to start a channel during, like, peak Corona hours. Like, right now, people have way bigger worries than what's the next thing. So, like, yeah, okay, in retrospect, that would have been a great time to, like, start a channel, or could have predicted the future, just like, I don't know, a day or two before Corona. There were reasons I didn't. Like, I own that too. Like, just as much as I know, yeah, I could have done this, but I also own, yeah, it was like many reasons I didn't, many things I could have done. Things that shoulda, coulda, woulda, woulda, yeah. Good old coulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda, woulda. But moving on from that, because I don't really like getting stuck in the couldas. In the end, I realize now that, like, it would have actually been a good idea, and I suppose you don't always see the opportunities that are there. It's just like if you want to do something, like, I know. Not the best game, but at some stage the games I was playing were popular. Like, Isaac was very popular for a long while. And, like, yeah, it feels weird because I feel like I'm that one fan that just never gives up on it. But at the same time, I'm aware that if you don't stream something popular, like, the more popular the thing you stream, the more likely it is that somebody's going to come along that'll be like, yeah, you know what, I actually do like this thing. Let's watch the stream and give you money. Dog food. Oh, That's interesting. Oh, okay, I see. I'm gonna get the man's best friend thing. Okay. And I could swear that they used to have a thing that was buried here. Oh, they do. I can see it. Yeah. I can see what they've done because you can see through these things if you look careful. Careful looking equals far seeing. What am I talking about? I have no frickin' idea, my dude. Your guess is as good as mine. There we go. It's okay, buddy. Just go to sleep. As I say to all my enemies, just go to sleep. Shh. Just go to sleep. It's okay. Shh. Just accept it. Shh. And we're gonna ignore the vibes from that, but as I say to my enemies, go to sleep. It's okay. Just shh. Go to sleep. You'll wake up in a few minutes. I promise. Right, Israel. So pretty. Ooh, apartments for rent. Nice. What does that do? I have no freaking clue. No cooking clue, as they say in Afrikaans. None. I have no idea. Oh, I do not think I have space for another chicken. I think I need to build the third coop. But, yeah, it's more or less in line with what I remember. I remember you need a lot of chicken coops. Where the heck am I now? Oh, I see what they've done. They've broken it up. Interesting. Huh. It's very different. I'm used to it being a little bit more, how do I put this? More like, segregated into sections. With the sections being just a touch more distinct. This is pretty cool. Hydraulic pots. Yeah, this is gonna be a quest. Guaranteed that's for a quest. Guarantee. Oh, it was Avak. Avak was the one. Avak or Wanda. Because I mentioned earlier, I saw a streamer that was using like water wrong. They were using water to deal damage. And I was like, ah, this ain't right, man. Scrambled eggs with truffle, fox statue, nice. Both those are pretty cool. And I know you can probably go down to there and, you know, run around and be a bit of exploring. By the way, I'm very glad that vacuum is on the spacebar because you do it a lot. Just feel those clicks. Clunk, 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 clunk. Is Twitch perhaps the wrong streaming service? That's entirely possible as well. Just buy it away. I fully acknowledge Twitch might not be the right place to stream this, but it's like, I don't really have anywhere else to stream. But yeah, I guess it's one of those things as well, like, it would have probably been smart when I was in high school to start doing, like, you know, gaming videos or whatever. Like, I certainly spend enough time playing games to make videos of it. And I'm thinking aloud now, right? Like, but I guess there's a lesson to draw from here. At least there is for me. I don't know if it applies to anyone else whatsoever. But, at least for me, part of the reason I'm saying this is, and thinking it through, is reminding myself that, hey, you could have done this a lot sooner, you know that, right? Like, I know a chick that is a streamer, and it's pretty much how she does it. Just started playing, started being loud and gregarious, which, I don't know, I guess in some ways it was pretty good to see, although she had that kind of personality from the start. I haven't watched any of her streams in a while. It's been a long time since I've spoken to her too, like years at this point. But yeah, I guess that's the other thing, like, time changes all things, you know. And the people that have the drive to do your thing, to keep at it, keep trying, you know, to keep going out and promote it, I think those are the people that tend to do well. Because oftentimes it's, yeah, time in the market beats timing the market, but that, like, there's some subtleties there, you know. Like, people will say it, but then it's also like, yeah, but like, it doesn't hurt when you get a 400x, you know, and I think that kind of applies as well when it comes to like this stuff, where basically, yeah, it is better to, like, you know. I really need to get back pen. Haha, I knew it. I freaking knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Suck it. Ooh, eggplant fricassee. Okay, I know for a fact there's gonna be a quest there, and I probably just like preempted it. they'll respawn the thing when I need it. By the way, I wonder what people think of like making some of these dishes, right? Like, I've never been... Like, truffle's a bit of a weird thing, right? It's got like a distinct flavor. I think that's the best way to put it. And it isn't always... Like, it's not a bad flavor, but it's definitely not always the most pleasant flavor you get, you know? It's like a very... Yeah, if you've tasted truffle, you don't forget it. But it doesn't necessarily mean you like it. Well, I do think it's one of those, like, oh, it's an acquired taste. You acquire it by being able to afford it. It's like sea urchin. The fact that you've been able to acquire the taste is the proof. You know, what about this show's wealth? The fact that you could afford the amount required to eat it. To develop a taste for it. We've got the hydraulic parts. We'll go down the path here, because I would like to get to that dude first. And then we'll figure out, he's probably going to want like eggplant or some eggplant dish. Right, where is this guy? I just follow the road, huh? Follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick, follow the yellow brick, follow the yellow brick road. So mote it be. Dunk. You probably don't want to hurt your animals, my dude. Probably not good to be hurting animals. Actually, on the topic of having to, well, causing, but less that, more like, I was thinking, yeah, it's not good to hurt animals, but sometimes you don't have a choice. Like a friend of mine, she collects snails, and one of the snails she picked up had like an issue where it had, like it had on its, like they've got those flappy things. I can never remember what it's called, but it's got the flaps. She was like, yeah, the flap has this thing that it's gonna like become a big problem. She doesn't cut it out, and she'll like, you know, sit down and bring herself to cut the snail's poor flappy thing off, like a scissors, and it sucked. I was like, yeah, well, sometimes you need it, but damn, it's not great. Hi, I'm Harold. Do you need advice on pigs? I'm an expert. Yes. Some more piggy business. Mark says hi. Find 7 cans. Okay, there you go. Harold, I hate you for the piggy business comments. I want you to know that. I actually hate you. Like, you are actually one of my least favorite people for these, like, oh, you got your piggy. Screw you, Harold. No one likes you. I certainly don't. Okay, and how am I going to be getting the beehives, Harold? Why don't you tell me that, Harold? Of course it's an eggplant. Whatever. It happens. Okay. Yep. But I'll get the mayo maker, and I'll know to plant some eggplants when I get home. Which will be soon enough, I think, because the day is just about to roll over. There we go. build the kennel. And now, I go. I'm just gonna, you know, laziness. Save and go home button. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing is building a kennel. By the way, I love dogs. Yeah, I'm a bit of a weirdo now that I think about it. Like, what's the motif Krieger plays? Because, you know, you gotta pick a channel motif. What's it gonna look like? Ah, guns and stuff. Oh, tell us about you. I love dogs. I really like dogs. Like, I like dogs a lot, dude. Dogs are amazing. They're so cute. Yes, I am one of those people, and you will have to be okay with that. You don't love me for my love of dogs. I don't know if it's gonna work. But yeah, dude. The dogs are... they're just so cute. And I knew a guy that hated them. And I think that was... like, he was a friend of mine, but I think that was probably like the single biggest point of friction between the two of us as friends, was just this dude hated dogs. Loved cats, but hated dogs. And I was like, how can you hate that pushy face? You're like holding the dog, like you smush its face in front of the guy, like, how can you hate you? And then I was just like, ugh. Yeah, doing all of those, we're like gagging. I was just like, I don't get it, man. You're like one of my better friends, but dude, so weird. Your hate must be contained, for it is blinding you to the fact that dogs are beautiful and so cute. But yeah, it has nothing to do with dogs. You also hated meat, and it like freaked out when people ate meat next to him. Now that I think about it, I might not have been the best friend, because my response to a lot of this when I was a kid was like, yeah, he'll be fine, he's an adult. You know, like, yeah, he'll be okay. But yeah, at some stage, it was like, don't even eat meat in front of me. I was like, that's a little bit dramatic, but sure. Yeah, so, Kansas, dude. Sure, bro. In retrospect, I'm gonna be moving these recyclers down. I'm gonna put them like here. Different chests can take different things, but in this case, this chest will take this thing. Because I have since learnt that you are going to get a lot of some of these things. Like, a lot of some of these things. And, it can be in your benefit to split that stack somewhat. And do it early. And then you get used to like, okay, one goes here, one goes here, and it will be fine. But the problem comes in when you don't. And then the troubles start. We got the kitchen. Did I not pick up a mayo machine? I feel I have picked up a mayo machine in my heart of hearts. I'm convinced I have picked up a mayo machine. A mayo machine. Mayonnaise machine. Machine. There we go. Mayonnaise machine. It's sufficiently awkward sounding, like, ugh. Why you gotta say it like that, bro? Well, it would not be very uncomfortable if I did not. Ugh. That is new endgame content I have not seen before. Big backpack, all that stuff. Yeah, it'll be fine. The Martinez machine. Machine. Like, I guess that's part of the game, you know? Like, you figure out some stuff that works, some stuff doesn't. You try it again, you optimize a little bit. Like, part of the reason I like to do like these kinds of layouts is I want to be able to run past these things and just kind of access them one by one. And then not have to worry about it too much, you know? Hannes. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing with sounds because I am annoying me. Cool. And then we'll put down another chicken coop because there's gonna be a lot of these. Like a lot of chicken coops. And I know for a fact I'm gonna be needing some other stuff along the way as well, so may as well not get too okay. I'm gonna stop before I embarrass myself. Who's gonna embarrass you? I'm gonna embarrass you, but there's no one here to be embarrassed at you. I'm here to be embarrassed at me. And I'm the most important person when it comes to not embarrassing. If I embarrass myself, I can only imagine. Simple salad's an important recipe, actually, all things considered. Yeah, you're gonna need that recipe. The recipe. Where can I fast travel to? Can I go there? I mean, I gotta say, I'm a big fan of a functional map. I feel like it makes this game a bit easier than it would otherwise. I like the fact that I've got a bit of a reason to actually come back, you know? And then we got there. And go over here and grab this one. Although, it's pretty rare that you're going to be creating. Oh, never mind. I was just passing by. Go away. Doggy! Hello, Harold. Do you want a hat? Pig wants what to be recruited, huh? I hate you, pig. I'm gonna turn you into bacon. Just you watch. You're asking me bacon. Woo! It's gonna wipe out all data at work again. That's a fox. Okay, I'm ashamed to say that it is probably one of the better, like, fighting things you can do is just to, like, wet down the enemy until they just evaporate. I don't know why, but I'm thinking of, like, you know, the moisture farmers on Tatooine and what's its name? In Star Wars, where they're like, those moisture evaporators are like, but that's not. I mean, I know what they're going for, but it's a moisture condensator, not a moisture evaporator. You don't evaporate, you evaporate. Like, the word is evaporate with the E attached. It's not a modifier like evaporate or devaporate. It doesn't work like that. Like, at least not as far as I know. I'm pretty sure the E there isn't a modifier on the word. Like, it's just flat out, like, evaporation is what it's called. So it doesn't really make sense to be like, it evaporates. Like, you can't evaporate something. Like, you can condensate, you can condense it, like condensate. Then evaporating is, like, evaporation is the process of something changing into a vapor. You know, like, I guess vaporization, so it could be evaporize, like vaporize. But at that point, you're like, okay, the vaporizers aren't working. You're like, what? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. And also when people are like, you have moisture farmers on Tatooine, you're like, you know what that would do to the ecosystem? Dude, you make all the droughts so much worse. Like, I'm not even kidding. There's a big reason why cloud seeding used to be illegal. At the moment, we've kind of gone back on that because, you know, it's freaking Saudi Arabia needs water, so now Saudi Arabia can get water by cloud seeding. It's like, okay, but also we're kind of screwing ourselves and everybody by allowing cloud seeding, because much like, you know, money and all that stuff, it doesn't really just come out of thin air. A lot of people seem to think the stuff does, but I assure you it does not. There's typically a rather complex, like, internet connected weave of things, and it's like, yeah. Yep, we'll get you your hutch. Don't worry. I am but a humble moisture farmer. Well, I do somewhat remember this era. I just could swear that it was less, like, transition-y, and I'm not a big fan of that. Like, the sheer amount of transitions kind of, I don't know, dude. It's a bit grating, if I'm completely honest. Like, I don't typically mind it, but, like, the transition with transition with transition is a bit like, yeah, it's a bit much. I'm sure it makes the game run a bit better because, you know, you can deload so much stuff, but still, it's a bit like, Cool. I do not know that I'm going to find any of those in a hurry. But we'll see. Wheelbarrow! That's pretty cool. I like the little park. I'm sure that they do repair it over time though. Because like, I know as you do quests, the houses get built up. And I know you also end up getting these trees. They like grow a bit as you get further and further along as well. Like listening to music, my wrists are going click, 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 click. Actually, now that I look, she doesn't have a middle arm anymore. That's kind of sad. I like the middle arm design. It's really satisfying to see that fall, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's bloody cool to just and like watch it all fall apart. Like, yeah, I'm the man. Or I suppose in this case, I'm the destroying stuff. Anyways, I don't know what to talk about. I had a conversation with a dude last night about therapy. That was kind of interesting. I think I upset him though, because I was very, like, therapy has a very narrow role. That, like, good therapy, I'll say this, and I'm sure I'm gonna upset even more people if they hear, but like, the point of therapy isn't just to like sit down and get your feelings out. The point of therapy is to like figure out and or fix whatever's going wrong. So like, if you've got, you wake up one day and you realize you're very sad and you're like, what the hell is this? Well, presumably, at the very least, you want to understand what's happening, and ideally, probably, possibly, maybe, you want to stop being sad, you know? So in this case, the point of therapy is clear. It's like, well, we're going to be engaging therapy to stop Bob being sad all the time. Incredible, I know. Ooh, we now have a hutch. What do you think Fox is going to want? Ah, strawberries. That is quite impossible at the moment. But it's good to know we'll soon be picking up some plants. Weird to think that according to like the, I don't want to say lore, but like, you know, canon, at least what we've been told so far, this is basically the bit of the game that's been like the most built up. Like, this is supposed to be the area where everyone lived at some stage, but then it kind of, you know, turned to poop. I imagine if they've got a restoration mechanic, you'd probably have like... And I know there are some of the characters because I know them and I know generally what they do, but I don't know if they're still going to be here. You just put them to sleep, you know. Okay, let's go. So I need to keep my eye out for a water filter as well. By the way, doesn't that look nicer? That looks much cleaner, much prettier if nothing else. I know I need to grab a bunch of like asparagus and then come back after that. Because I know asparagus is what's going to get me to, well, at least I remember asparagus is what's going to get me to be able to do the pigs and the pigsty. And over here, I'm pretty sure this boy has probably got something for me. Carrot, honey, strawberry. Okay, so that's enough for me. By the way, also need to build those upgraded kitchens. Oh, but we all slaved away making it safe for you. Like, yeah, you can ask me. In case you hadn't noticed, like, I get a bit annoyed when people start doing that kind of stuff. Like, oh, look what I did. I'm like, well, I appreciate it, but you also never asked. But you owe me because I did this thing. Don't know what to tell you, my dude, but you should have checked with me first, you know? You said to me, hey, you're gonna... The thing is, right, people don't want to do that where they talk to you before they do stuff and then decide you owe them because they're worried that you'll say, like, yeah, no, I'm good. You know? Because there are plenty of people that you don't want to owe anything to. And you might just be like, you know what? I'm okay. And I'll be like, you could do this, but you owe me. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm okay. And it can be frustrating as well, because then you might not necessarily, especially if you're the person that's doing the favor, you might not have anything like bad or whatever in mind, but because people are used to other people trying to screw them. They're kind of like, yeah. Doggo, I love you. You are so cute. Have a pat. You're not rabbit. Funny. We put this here. Gonna hear a word from me, Haas. I do wish there's a way to tell what you need to bring, because it's a little bit annoying to like I'm gonna be doing a lot of backward and forwards running while I try to figure out what I need to get for everything, right? And that's a little bit, it ain't great. Let's it ain't the best. I'm just gonna put it that way. Like, I know this is gonna be interesting, and this is probably gonna be a pretty good one. And what else? It's just gonna be carrots. Okay. But yeah, it really isn't the best when you just like look up and you got a bunch of stuff you need to do. It's like, gee, I would be much happier if this wasn't the case. Dude, I can't wait until I get 4 stacks that I can just drop in those things. I've got a full stack of batteries. Nice. So what I do now is I go to my thing over here. One of these chests were for batteries. This one is no. It is not this one. Okay. Able to add 3 ingredients. Like a stuffed pumpkin. And eggplant fricassee. Which I'm pretty sure I do actually need, given like, you know, late game stuff. Jimkin! Dougie! See, Doug gives you useful stuff. By the way, go. We're gonna go. We got some other stuff to do. And as much as I want to, I think we're probably gonna get more jobs out of just finishing off these areas. I really don't want to go back until I have the thing which is name I've instantly forgotten. There we go. Well, I also would love to get a thing which basically allowed you to just reference, you know, like the contents of containers or whatever for your crafting ingredient requirements, because that'd be pretty cool too. And we go global map, and then we go here, and we continue cleaning. Because, that's what life's about, cleaning up other people's messes, Although, I say this, but it's really not that bad. That's pretty. It ain't bad at all. Okay, this is gloss. Isn't it funny? Because people are reductive. People get taught a whole lot of... Like, I get the game and the game's cute and all, but like... Man, it's a little bit tricky to actually figure out like real life solutions to the problems that these people are facing. Like, especially in this game. It's like, oh, why did you just go to Mars? Like, okay, first of all, I don't think you just quote unquote go to Mars. I think like you have much bigger problems. Second of all, if you've got the tech to like terraform Mars, you probably both have the will and the way to terraform the Earth. Like, there's not that much reason that you wouldn't be terraforming Earth if you could terraform like Mars, you know? Like, I think you just kind of do it. That's what I'm basically saying. It wouldn't even be like a big deal. I really do think you just do it, you know? I think you just terraform it and it'd be fine. Like, you just do it and then BAM! Terraform. Terraform me! BAM! But, I mean, it's interesting that this is one of the first games where basically people deal with it. I'd also love to see a game where it becomes like initially certain off gases that you put off are a good thing, and then you have to deal with them becoming a bad thing, you know? Like, let's say you're doing terraforming, right? So initially you want to burn as much coal as possible because the planet's cold. But then as it gets hotter, your coal burners start creating problems because they create like too much heat or monoxide, or, you know, like you're using leaded fuel, and then it's like, oh wait, we can't do that. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting. Okay, almost done. Wet drilling. There you go. Same drill you use in a mine. Works in the mines. Works here too, my friend. And yeah, you do really use drill like that in the mine. But you actually do drill. Like, drilling in mines is pretty damn hard. Like, I think it's a big thing that people don't realize. I know I certainly didn't realize it until like it finally clicked. Like, just how bloody hard it is to mine through the earth. Like, at the surface, it's not too bad, right? Because your rock is soft relative to the rest of it, but as you get further down, it's been compacted longer and longer and longer. And like tens, if not hundreds of millions of thousands of years of whatever. But like, you get into like South Africa with the gold layers and those super deep mines, you begin to need like high explosive just to soften the wall up enough that you can drill through it with pneumatic drills. Like it's kind of crazy. Okay, let's loop back. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see how it is. It is pretty bad. Let's go. Boop. That was adorable. Oh, you know why I think they've enclosed the sections? Because people must have been taking stuff from the wrong, like one section to the wrong one, and that must have been causing them problems. This way, because they're enclosed, it's easier. But I remember this was open at some stage, and I'd love it for it to be open again. I like open game mods, you know. I like games where you just run from one side to the other. And yeah, sure, it's a little bit more resource heavy, but like, okay. I happen to, in my case, have a computer that can do it. Like, why not? Let's go, boy. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it's like, it's good to have it, but I'd always love to see people make it at least so it's optional, you know? Like, that was always one of my favorite mods in like Skyrim, and that would be to install open city, so you just run in and out of the city. And I found that really cool, actually. Like, it makes the game feel so much more alive. You can just run into the city, and you don't have to have this weird, like, oh, I'm going into the city now, into the city room. It's like, no, you just go in the city, like, it just happens. Like it normally would. You went in somewhere, you know? You just kind of go in, you wouldn't be like, oh, I wonder what to do next. Just do it. I do halfway wish it was like Remoldian, and that like you didn't vacuum up the battery that dropped, you'd like vacuumed up the dead spider and you get a like a battery. It's like go for some real dystopia feels, you know? Truly dystopian. I will say, now I'm just like, you ever just sit down and have a think about like things you've experienced in your life, whatever, and you kind of like, man, people are assholes. Like, no easy way to put it. They're just assholes sometimes. Yeah, that's the message. Sure, simple message for dealing with people. You realize people are self-interested a-holes. Like 98% of the time, and the 2% they're not, that's usually accidental. It's either accidental or completely deliberate. But hey, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing either to have your own interests at heart. Like, this is a big thing I've always seen with you know, like relationships, and people are like, oh, we will need to want the same thing. Like, no, you don't. There's no reason for you to want the same thing. What you want is somebody to give you, like, treat the thing, you getting the thing you want as if they're getting their needs met. Like, that's what you want there, and that's kind of messed up, bro. Like, not even feel that they're allowed to have their own unique needs. But I see it a lot, like girls, whatever, you know? They want a guy that's not interested in with them. It's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, you basically want a dude that values cuddles as much as you do, so you don't have to do anything for them. Like, you want your need for cuddles, when it gets met, to meet their need for affection as well. And it's like, that sounds a little bit, I don't know, I guess lazy? Like, there are lots of want different things. Like, people are different. Like, the trick's not finding that. The trick's finding people that like what you want to give and give what you want. Like giving what you need and need what you give. And that's kind of, I think, the bigger quote-unquote secret, if there is one. It's like getting along. Just having your needs and desires line up. Because, yeah, I suspect that'll do you far better than any other stuff people think will do. No, I made a mistake. Why? Because I did not have the resources needed to keep what I was getting. Baked apples are good. Not had one in a long time. My dad showed me like a basic recipe for it in the microwave, and since then you learn like, okay, well, the way you candy stuff is basically like, and now this depends on like what you want, right? Do you want like just sweet like a syrup? Do you want like a hard shell? But it's basically gonna be whatever you're like doing, plus sugar, plus water. From there, it just depends. If you want to make like a hot outer crust, you're gonna cook it with like more pure sugar, and you might drop that on top. If you want like it to be cooked through with syrup, and then you more want to like, you want to candy it, but you also want to like soak it. And you're gonna use like a lot more water. Maybe you're gonna let it sit so that sugars can like seep into the thing. And you're probably gonna cook it in the sugar. That's usually the case. Like anytime you cook it separately is when you're gonna get like a layer on top, and if you cook it together, that's when you want it to penetrate. And I guess that's the same for like all herbs and spices, you know. Yeah, I guess that's the lesson on the lining up. People tend to forget that Kind of goes for life as well. Like, your employer and you do not want the same thing. And a lot of people like make the mistake of trying to look for employees and or employers that want the same. And it's like, but you don't. The employer doesn't want to make money. He does, but not the way you do. They want to spend money. They want to broker, trade. You want work. Like, you don't want the same thing, but that doesn't mean it has to be a hostile relationship. Like, maybe a little adversarial, but it can be perfectly hostile and friendly and good for you both. Like, you get paid, they get paid. You just need to know what's the relationship you're in and to navigate it. And that's why I think I hate, very much a side note, I hate when corporations are like, we're a family. Like, no, we're not. At least we're not a functional family. And I'd hate to be part of a family that acted like this. Because damn. I have a place to be before 6 o'clock, guys. So, thank you very much for joining me. I need to go. I will be back. We'll continue the game then. So cool, guys.